Hi everybody, Sanbona, and welcome to my channel. Do make sure that you are subscribed over here and also do like the video. So listen, you guys, there are so many ways to support your creators here on YouTube, and I am one of them. You did not know? I am one of your creators, okay? That's what I'm doing, sitting here on this desk when I'm supposed to be getting ready to work. Anyway, you guys, how you can support this channel is to make sure that when an advert comes on, you watch the adverts, okay? Because that's how YouTube pays me. It doesn't pay me for sitting here and just giving you umkos, because YouTube doesn't even know the people that I'm talking about, okay? It pays me through the adverts. So watch some adverts. And also, you guys, there's a thing called the join button. People will be saying they don't see the join button. Press the button that says more here. If you press the more, the join button will appear. It will tell you what to do. There's a thanks button if you just want to say thank you, okay? Kati uyocollect 350 wakho namhlanje, kati uyocollect sasa yakho namhlanje. Nesasa ngiyayifuna. Or it's payday today, mhla kaba 14, abaka 15 kusasa ngiyafuna nje thanks button wena ngiyafuna. Yes. So make sure that you do that. But again, there are other ways you can like the video, you can share the video. All of that, you guys, is appreciated. Today, I want to talk about what's happening, you guys, with this thing called the gossip space here on YouTube. Because we've been seeing, Uguti, there has been a lot of changes going on in the gossip space here on YouTube. Okay. Yes, you guys. So people have been changing the way that they do things when it comes to the gossip channel. There was a time, you guys, when we had so many people here doing gossip on YouTube, you guys. In fact, we used to get people say this all the time. Why do you guys talk about the same stories? You guys do the same story. You do the same thing, all of you. And we'll be like, listen, if the story is trending, all of us, of course, are going to talk about it, okay? What do you want us to do? Talk about your neighbor that nobody knows, okay? Of course, if Somizi is trending, we're going to talk about Somizi, okay? It just makes sense to do it that way. But of course, you guys, it kind of feels like, the number of gossip channels here on YouTube has gone down. And what is the reason for that, okay? Basically, the reason that most of us are here on YouTube, you guys, is so that we can make money. Yes, I know that is a shock for a lot of you. And the reason that we are here is so that we can make money. I know that you guys thought that we just like and it's just our passion to do that. That's why we are here. Yes, it is to make money. So sometimes, you guys, there are changes that happen with YouTube, and then you see your revenue and you start thinking, is it worth it for me to sit here on my chair and then do all the setup, and then and then bese ngithola lo 2 rand lo ovela go YouTube. So when there are changes in terms of like how people are doing things here on YouTube, always think revenue, think revenue. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me shebela you something. The revenue when it comes to the gossip space, you guys, has not been revenuing, okay? And it's not in all of the spaces on YouTube. It's more specifically in the gossip space, okay? We're not figuring out what our boss is saying because we do have a very, very terrible boss, okay? He does not communicate, okay, with us, okay? We'll be trying to figure out what's happening, okay? Sometimes the boss will not be paying us for like 3 months, okay? And then after 3 months, he'll be paying us good. And then we're like, we were almost quitting the job, and then the boss is paying. So there is a change when it comes to revenue, especially when it comes to the gossip space. So we are watching and we are like, is it worth staying in the gossip space, especially because the revenue is not revenuing, okay? And this you can judge in the videos that is generating, the views, okay? Besides that, you guys, there is also just the fact that videos are not getting recommended as much when it comes to the gossip. And we are still also trying to figure that out. Why are the videos, when it comes to gossip, not getting recommended as much as they used to when it comes to just the gossip videos? So, and while we are doing that, you guys, we obviously have to find other ways to make money. So when you see creators moving to other spaces, it's not like they're saying they hate gossip, okay? It's like they're saying, listen, I'm here to make money, and if gossip is not going to make me money, I'm going to shift a little bit, okay? We've seen a lot of YouTubers moving towards, podcasting, which basically makes sense, you guys. I mean, if podcasting is going to make you more money than gossip, then definitely do podcasting. Why would you stay in a space that doesn't make you as much money? Or if you have an option to make more money, then go and make more money. That's why you have seen people that are leaders or have been leaders in the gossip space move towards podcasting. And obviously, when you have seen the money in podcasting and you compare it to the gossip money, you are not going to go back to the gossip, okay? So you guys might not even get the gossip in the future if our YouTube boss doesn't change the way that he is doing things, you guys. But there are also other changes, you guys, that are taking place. Remember, as YouTubers, we are not, or we are limited in terms of the resources when it comes to getting the stories, okay? We are limited in terms of resources financially. So the amount of risk that we are willing to do in terms of doing the stories is very limited, okay? There are stories that are coming through in the DMs, honey. Don't think that they're not coming through, okay? If your husband is cheating, we do know about it, and we do have the pictures, okay? We do have the screenshots, okay? Sometimes, because we are limited in terms of the resources on what we can put out there, we just choose not to put out there because, listen, we don't want to end up in the courts like some people have ended up in the courts for the gossip, okay? So sometimes we'll be looking at these DMs like, no, okay? And we'll be waiting for the bigger publications to at least publish the story. Then we can talk about what's happening with that story because we just cannot take the risk. And what has been happening in the gossip space or the news space recently, you guys, we have seen bigger publications struggling to make means to make means and to make ends meet. Hey, isingisi esikhulu, guys. Isingisi esikhulu, okay. Like, for an example, you guys, Zimoja recently announced that they were closing down. Zimoja is a website owned by Moja Love, which was, it was news, it was gossip, it was all of that, you guys. And at some point, Zimoja was a leading source for most of the YouTubers that were doing a gossip, you guys. If you were staying on Zimoja, every hour, your channel was doing very good because basically you were able to get the news as they were coming in, okay? And if you go on Zimoja's channel, not Zimoja's channel, Zimoja's website right now, it's all news only because they announced that they were closing down. They said that the reason they were doing that, you guys, is that the advertisers were not really feeling, the platform, so they were not coming on as much, and it wasn't worth it for them to continue with the platform, okay? So this is the thing, you guys, is that even the people that we relied on for news, because those people had resources, they could afford to go to court if they get sued by the people that we talk about. Those people are closing down. So the stories are not coming in as much. And then you get people like Musa Kawula, who now has been arrested. Okay, now he's out, but he might get arrested again because he's up to no good again. Okay, you get people like Musa Kawula, who is in trouble for publishing such stories. So it's like the sources are getting limited by the day. Also, you guys, with us YouTubers, because we are on to stories so quick sometimes some YouTubers will publish the stories before the big publications, okay? For an example, let me give you this one example, okay? So Minnie Dlamini yesterday posted her reply to the story or to the apology Gamakchi, where she was saying, listen, I hear the apology, the lawyers did contact me, but I am not going to accept the apology. I'm going to actually go to court. I'm going through with the lawsuit. Okay. So after she posted on social media, all of us got into that story. We talked about it. Okay. People that posted that story first got a lot of views. Some of us that followed after that, because we had to do the 9 to 5 situation. Okay. Some of us would be at work and the story be going on, and we'll be still serving our 9 to 5. And then later on, we get into the story. So then, you guys, only later on, okay, basically this morning when I checked the Sunday World, only then they are publishing that part of the story. Okay, they had published the story of MacG apologizing publicly, but they had not done the story of Minnie Dlamini actually replying. Okay, now only this morning they are publishing Minnie Dlamini's reply, but all of the gossip channels have already basically published that story. So is anybody gonna go and read the Sunday World? Why would you go read the Sunday World? Because obviously all of the YouTubers have been on that story, the TikTokers, the Facebookers. Nobody's going to really go to the Sunday World to read that story. Now, do you think that the Sunday World is going to last long? They might not. Okay, the same thing that has happened with some Zimoja might happen with the Sunday World. Okay, so this is the challenge, you guys, is that even with the sources that we still have, they are a little bit slow. And I think the reason that they are a little bit slow is because they do have rules that they work with. Okay, for us, it's like we see the story, we go with it. With them, maybe they need to do a bit of a check here and there. They need to get the editor in chief to approve the story, honey. And by the time they publish the story, it's like, I just a story, because all we need is for the post by Umini Dlamini to say, yay, Umini Dlamini has just posted this on his social media. That is enough for us. Okay. So in a way, you guys, we ourselves are killing our sources, okay? But we don't have a choice because our sources are a little bit slow. But in also rushing to do the stories, our sources are dying because of us. But the thing is, if our sources die because of us, we will end up not having this the source of income, because you guys, of course, nobody's going to read the newspapers if the news are coming on YouTube before they figure the thing out. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, it's like we need the journalists, we need their skills, but sometimes they be using the same sources that we use to come up with the story. Sometimes the big publications be using the social media as their source, and we'll be like, no, but we were thinking you are going to drive to Minnie's house and get the interview with Minnie so that we can get more juice. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes it feels like now the journalists, the trained people, are getting a little bit lazy because they know that we are also waiting for them. You understand what I mean? So there is the struggle in the gossip space, you guys. That and the fact that YouTube in the past few months hasn't been paying that well. But guys, things might change because YouTube be like that for like a month or two, and then the next thing you wake up and you're like, did YouTube is YouTube paying the part? So those are the changes that are going on, you guys, right now. Let me tell you something. Reality Buzz is smaller than Ntando Mamdleche Kwala, but let me tell you, the money in Ntando Mdleche is a little bit more than here. Okay, it's like I'm posting here and there's nothing happening. Definitely, there's something happening with the gossip space right now. We can't figure out what it is. There are people that are still making a killing, but it's not all of us. So if you see us shift the way that we do things in the gossip space, if you see your big players on gossip in the gossip space shift the way that they do things, you guys, it's because the revenue is not revenuing. Okay, and also if we are going to struggle to get those stories, it might make sense for some of us to change the type of content that we are doing. Because let me tell you something, if the journalists are lazy to go and get the stories, where are we going to get them? Because even if I do have the stories, sometimes it's like do I have the resources to back this up? Should, should they be coming for me, honey? And the things, I don't have the resource. I am risking my money that I make from my 9 to 5 to pay for lawyers for the money I make on YouTube. That don't make no sense, okay? So of course, you guys, you are going to see a lot of changes in terms of how, the content is done on most of the channels here on YouTube. And my channel, of course, is going to be one of those. I enjoy doing gossip, you guys. It's so much fun to do the gossip, but I don't want to do the gossip for free. So if the revenue situation is not changing here on in the gossip space, I might have to change things too. If I do a different kind of, content here on YouTube, just stay with me, okay? Understand that the slavery was back in the day, honey, okay? And we are not willing to do the slavering for the YouTube boss, okay? And if he is not willing to pay a lot for the gossip stories, we might not really want to do the gossip stories. You get what I'm saying, okay? So this might not be the actual fall of the gossip space, but the past few months have been a challenge in terms of revenue, and it might not make sense for us to insist on doing just gossip. We might do it for fun, you guys, because let me tell you something. Sometimes those stories in the Sunday world on a Sunday are too much fun for me to resist, okay? So we will be doing the gossip, but what I'm saying is that on this channel, you guys, if I make changes and I'm doing a different kind of content, think revenue, okay? Think revenue. It has to be worth it for me, because listen, I'll be on my 9 to 5 and then I come back home and then I have to, take care of my kids. And then let me not forget the husband, honey, okay? And then I have to sit here and do these videos, okay? So it has to be worth it for me, okay? And the boss is not communicating on why he's not paying us, okay? So let's call this the rise and the fall of the gossip space. But you guys, we are never going to stop gossiping, but we will gossip and do other things as well, because, we just have to adjust, because, what are we going to do without money? What are we going to do without money? Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section. By the way, you guys, do not forget to financially support the channel. And how do you do that? Is watch the adverts, like the video, share the video, press the thanks button, and also, you guys, there is a join button. You can just join and be a member on this channel. Listen, I think it's like 19.99 or something, okay? It's very cheap. Thank you so much. Nginithanda kakhulu.